Today we're going to have a look at the iFootage S1A3 4-axis motorized slider kit, which in my opinion is one of the most underrated professional motion control slider systems of the last few years. You're going to see in this video that this slider is really well thought through, well designed, extremely robust and really efficient piece of kit. There's very little plastic, if any, and almost all the parts are CNC cut aluminum. I mean, just look at this counterweights wheel. It looks more like a piece of jewelry or something. All the pieces are really easy to install. There's pretty much no tools needed at all. All the parts are very beautifully manufactured and they also look beautiful. I mean, I know this slider came out 3-4 years ago, but even by today's standards, to me, it's still mind-blowing. Looking at the mechanics of the camera sled, it's simple yet sophisticated. There's a toolless system to tighten and exchange the belt, and you can also tighten the wheels that run along the carbon fiber rod. Now let's have a look how we can extend the length of the slider. First we remove the rubber belt, then we remove one of the end pieces. Okay, I know this is like the 4th time I'm saying this, but just look at this piece. Isn't this just incredible? The amount of attention to detail they put into this blows my mind. Same goes for the packaging. Everything has its dedicated spot for storage. The extensions are cleverly stored in the lid of the transport bag. Just screw them on. And the intersection is really smooth. You can hardly feel it at all, so that it won't disturb the slider movement. Put the end piece back on, feed the belt through, and lock it back in place. With the extension, the total travel length of the slider is roughly a little more than 1 meter. And now we get to the interesting part. Here we are installing the motor for the slider. These brackets will allow us to mount a motorized camera head. Here we have the X2 motion control head. This piece, like the rest of this kit, shows highest levels of engineering. It's super easy to install and use. It's robust as if it was made out of a single piece, yet pretty lightweight for what it is and what it's able to do. And here we go. Let's put her on. And here we have the controller of the whole system. It controls the slider and the motion control head. And it's the only thing which, in my opinion, shows a little the age of the whole system. It's a bit hard to figure out in the beginning. Some features and controls could be a little more user-friendly. And I guess that nowadays you would expect to have an app to go along with the system. But at the same time, this is a standalone system which you can use anywhere in the world. You don't need internet, you don't need a smartphone, which has a value on its own. Alright, but now enough chit chat. Let's throw on some batteries and power this thing up. I'm gonna use my good old Terra 6K for this little test run. And we're ready to go. There are many good videos out there showing in detail how this slider works. And I've put the link to one video in the description, which is an almost 30-minute instructional video showing all the features in detail if you want to have a look at that. But we're just gonna focus on the one function that I guess most users are looking for, which is keeping the camera directed towards an object on a fixed position in front of the camera, so that you can just set up the slider in one part of the room, let it run in a loop, and then at the end you can just use that footage as a B or C camera, for example to give your interview shoots a little more dynamic. Alright, so I have already programmed the slider and motion control head to go left and right in a loop and always keep the camera fixed onto a central point in the middle. I have to admit, the shot you see here is not the shot that the Terra is actually taking here, because it turned out for this to actually work, the target has to be a bit further away than just about 30-40 centimeters in front of the camera. For the simple reason that since the slider is not circular, it's very hard to keep your subject in frame when it's that close. So here's how you actually program that. You go to the record function, then you set the camera to the initial starting position, you press record, then you move the camera to the final position. Yeah, almost there. Then you press stop, and then the slider will automatically connect these points to create a smooth movement, as you can see here.